Hi guys, it's Lewis here from Inspiring Morphs. Today we're going to be having a look at some basic ball python genes, how to identify them, and just looking for the signs of how to recognise the difference between one and another. But before we get into that, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. I hope you like the video. Right, so we're going to start this video off with the basics. This is a normal ball python. I'm sure many of you guys have seen one of these before. The most common type around, found in the wild. Pretty distinct really. They've got these what they call alien heads down the side. Some people call them keyholes when they're more like this. Normally they blend together. I like to call them alien heads. Normally they have two dots, but there's a bit of a variation in pattern. This guy's just trying to get away at the moment. He's been trying to get away since the minute I put him on the table, but you get the idea. Golden brown. This guy's a little bit lighter than they can come. They do suffer with polymorphism, ball pythons, which means that one snake that looks like a really bright example can be completely different to the same gene that might just be simply darker, and this confuses a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, this is something different, or this is a pastel, this is, you know, something that it's not, when basically it's just a nice looking normal. So this is your basics, the normal ball. Now I'm going to just quickly put him back in his tank because he's trying to make an escape, and then we'll get on and have a look at some pastel. Right, so this is a pastel ball python. She's actually in shed at the moment, as you can see by her eyes, so she's not quite as bright as she would normally be. But the way I always know pastel is basically to do with this head stamp. They normally have a bright blushing white spot on the top of the head. You can see this right here is blushed out, and that's, to me, is like the classic sign of spotting the difference between a pastel and a normal. Occasionally you'll get a tiny bit of blushing on a normal, but not usually as much as you would on a pastel. They obviously have this orangey kind of browny yellow, like dark yellow, and often they'll have blushing on the back as well, like this. You can see down here. This is a good sign that your animal is not just a normal, but maybe a pastel. Most people can tell the difference, but as I say, this is just a beginning guide for anybody who can't tell the difference. Really pretty. As I say, she's in shed at the moment, but nevertheless beautiful animal. A lot of flaming up the sides, just a lot brighter. Same sort of patterning, a few less alien heads on this one, but as I say, you can get a lot more alien heads on pastel, just depends on the polymorphism. This one doesn't seem to have a lot, but she's also double het for clown and desert ghost, so that could be part of the reason why. So many factors involved, but just trying to give you a general idea. She's trying to make an escape too. Hey, come back. Beautiful animal. I think we'll move on and we'll have a look at fire next. So this is a fire. You can see the difference between her and the pastel. She's a lot more bright. I always tell fire by this kind of coloration on the dorsal fin. Bring the pastel back just so you can see the difference in coloration. A lot brighter. They tend to have more of a dorsal fin. You know, the pattern brings in a dorsal fin line. You don't seem to get that as much with the pastel. A little bit of blushing on the head, but if she wasn't in shed, you'd really be able to see what I mean. It goes a really prominent kind of blush like this. Definitely able to see the difference. Also get a lot of flaming with fire. A lot of this nice patterning up the belly. Really nice. Alien heads tend to be very similar to a normal. Some keyholes, some alien heads. A lot of bleeding pattern. When I first started out doing this, I couldn't tell the difference between a normal and a yellow belly, and as time's gone on, I've sort of got a little bit better at it, but to be honest, I still really struggle. I'm okay now with these basic jeans, but the more you look at them, the more it gets easier to tell the difference between the two. So I prefer fire over pastel. They both have their place, but if I had to just choose one, I'd probably choose fire. Not only because the super form's actually a white snake, but I think the coloration is nicer on fire, and I like the way it works with other things. These girls have all got super active since I've got them out of the tubs. Beautiful animal. Can't have enough fire in the collection. All pastel, I love both. But you can see a clear difference here between the two. As I say, she'd normally be a lot more yellow, but nothing like this. Right. So I'm going to go into one more basic gene, two more basic genes. We're going to have a little look at yellow belly next, and I'm going to keep these two out just to show you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these here. Hopefully they don't go too far. And I'm going to bring over some yellow belly. So this girl's almost like halfway between the two. She's got these golden browns, which is these kind of lighter golden browns, which is what the pastel normally looks like. She doesn't have the dorsal fin of the fire, but she does have a nice head stamp you usually see on the yellow belly. And what they also have is this crazy belly. So whenever you have yellow belly, you usually have a bit of a funky pattern on the belly. And as you'll see with these two girls, there's not really any pattern here on the belly. Same with the pastel, not really no pattern on the centre of the belly, but with the yellow belly, you definitely get this kind of funky yellow and all this changing of pattern and colour. She's not too happy at the moment about being videoed. She's definitely gone shy, but at least it makes it easier to get a good look at her. So yeah, golden browns. I just think with yellow belly you get a lot of this flaming coming up the side. You do get the same thing with the pastel and a little bit with the fire too, but I think that's always a noticeable sign on yellow belly. It can be easy to mix these three up when you're having a look, but as time goes on you do get to know the difference between them. Slightly less clear pattern, it's more grainy around this side of the alien heads, where the fire is really clean. It's slightly more grainy on the yellow belly and faded as the yellow goes around the edge of the alien head. Well, these ones aren't even really alien heads, they're more just like blobs, but really mixed pattern. Very cool. Got a little paradox as well, which is het-pied. Interesting to look at nevertheless. She's getting nice and fat. She's eating like a champion. Right, so I'm going to put these guys away now, and then we're going to have a little look at a Mojave. Okay, so this is a Mojave, and I think straight away it's pretty obvious what the difference is between this and the last few snakes I just showed you. They've got this kind of browny, almost purple coloration along the back. They have a much more brighter side, much more uniformed keyhole patterns, and it's really just about this kind of browny purple. Just a little hissed at me. It's really about this like browny purple kind of coloration they have to them. It's probably, I'd say, one of my favourite single genes as far as the base morphs go. Obviously, you guys know I love working with clown, but as far as the base morphs go, this is definitely one of my favourite genes, and I try to keep it mixed in with a lot of stuff, with my clowns and pastel, desert ghost, and everything else that we work with here. He's being nice and cooperative. He's giving you the full spread, just not the head. It's hiding down there, but yeah, he's gorgeous. Mojave super form is also a white snake. They're part of the bell complex. So you've got lesser, Mojave, fire, I think butter as well. Whenever you get the super forms of those snakes, they always form a white snake. Some people love. I don't actually have any. I've had 3 years of chances to hit white snakes, but I've never actually hit one. But maybe this year will be my year. I've got a fire. I've got 2 fire to fire pairings, so with different other combos in there, so possibly. But yeah, just beautiful. As I say, my most single favourite gene, I'd say, out of all of the genes. This guy's actually het for puzzle as well, so he didn't make it into the breeding cycle this year, but he'll definitely be big enough for the end of this year. So I'm hoping to make some Mojave puzzles with him. Absolutely awesome. If you haven't seen one, go on Google, check it out. That's what got me into the puzzle project. I saw a Mojave puzzle on Google and I said, I've got to make some of these. And then a year later, I'm now got a chance to make them this year coming, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's all for today. So hope you guys have liked what you've seen. He's doing a nice little pose for the end, and catch you next time.